Okay, I've arrived at another beautiful place. Today, the adventure is the Ray Mine. The Ray Mine was a mine for mica. Mica was really popular out here in North Carolina. Still is, really. It's used for tons of different things, like insulation and whatnot. And apparently this place is pretty famous for some aquamarine. So I'm going to be meeting up with some friends out here, guys. I have to say, take advantage of every opportunity you can, because then you end up in beautiful places like this. And that's what I'm doing today, and hopefully I can find some aquamarine before that hurricane starts dumping a little bit of rain over in this area. Who knows? Hopefully it won't make it this far, but you never know. Those y'all out there say, oh, what's mica? Well, it's this flat, shiny stuff. Has a singular cleavage, which means it breaks in one direction, so it's always flat, unless, of course, it's like in a cluster of different crystals. But yeah, that's pretty much how it crystallizes. Mica happens in a lot of different ways. Pretty sure this is classified as a muscovite, not a biotite, but who knows? If I'm wrong, definitely correct me in the comments. You can see it just breaks in that one direction. I used to use this stuff as microscope slides, so you can kind of see right through it. Really nice and thin. You could put a drop of whatever you want on that and look at it through a microscope. So they used it for washers and insulators. If you want to learn more about mica, watch my little Switzerland video. For Emerald Village, watch Emerald Village video. I went to the museum there. It talks all about mica. And today joining us, Mighty the dog, who we still haven't been able to find the right home for, so she came right back to me. So we'll see what happens. Looks like she's adventuring with us today. You a big adventure dog, Mighty? Yeah, as soon as you can get your leg out? Okay. All right, my friends have showed up. First thing to do is to hike. Here it's about 25 minutes, so we'll see how it is. It sure is beautiful here. Wow, look how green the canopy is. Okay, so we came up the trail, took a left to go over the first stream, and now we're at the second stream. There's lots of pegmatites here, and you can see the ground's all glittery with mica. And we're gonna go see what we can find out here. You see a rock with black tourmaline in it? You should probably check it for aquamarine as well. There's some black tourmaline in quartz and feldspar, pegmatite. Pegmatite's going to be a blend of crystals. Out here it's going to be the mica, the feldspar, smoky quartz, and hopefully we can find some crystals like beryl and aquamarine. This is a well-known location for snakes. I don't know if that's a copperhead or what, but I know I'm not going to mess with it. Big old centipede, about as long as my finger. My first tiny sign of aquamarine right here by my thumb. That black tourmaline will lead you right to it if you look close enough. I didn't see any more in this rock, but I don't know. That's what we're looking at, you know? Pegmatites, larger crystals, big black tourmaline needles, and then boom, aquamarine. This is the giant mine shaft in the ground. Don't go over there or you'll fall 100 foot to your death. Just a hot tip. Yeah, don't do that. Here's another place that's fenced off for a reason. Again, don't go over there unless you want to fall to your death. Very likely. Somebody's not having it. She wants to go. She wants to go. After quite a difficult hike, way up into the woods, following the tailing piles, just up and up and up and up, we found some nice pink garnets here in this matrix. It's kind of pretty. And we're almost to the real promised land. Apparently all the aquas are right up there, so I don't know. We're going to find out. Well, guys, we're just going through the pegmatites and looking and finding different things, you know, garnets, tourmalines, feldspars, quartz, mica, and the ones that are interesting, I'm throwing them a sack. Pretty high up the hill here, definitely taking a lot of breaks to kind of maintain so we don't get too excitable and burn too much energy up here. She's doing a great job. We're finding a lot of these nice flat-sided feldspars. A lot of the times the aqua will even be near the feldspar. I've only found a couple more tiny chips of aqua so far, but there's definitely some large crystalline pegmatites up here. Definitely a lot of minerals to be found. All right, it's in terrible condition, but this right here, this piece here, is blue beryl. Right here, right there. You can see it's got a little bit of shape to the crystal, and then it went deeper into the pegmatite that way, and a bunch of it's broken and it's all very shattered. But that's aquamarine, or blue beryl. Aquamarine's really more see-through, I guess. Blue beryl's the and then not so see-through, and that's really the only difference.
Then I got this one.
Isn't that gorgeous? Look what he found. Blue beryl. Ooh, good one, dude. And another one. Oh, crystal. Ooh, faces. Beautiful. Very nice. Well, sun's starting to go down. I'm getting out of here. That's Ray Mine. All right, so here's the reveal for what we got from Ray Mine. But first, we're going to talk a little bit about pegmatite and some of the minerals that are in it. So, pegmatite basically occurs when there's some hot lava comes up, generally felsic magma, comes on up through some, cracks in the earth, basically forces itself up, creating crevices and different seams. So that's why you're going to find quartz in a lot of seams. Things in North Carolina that you might find in quartz would be gold, for instance, lots of different metals, different crystals. So another thing that's really in the pegmatite, what pegmatite is just a mix of different crystals. So basically how slow that magma forms, the slower, the bigger the crystals are gonna be. So if it cools rapidly, like you're gonna get like an obsidian that has almost no crystal, like no visible crystal structure. They're just so tiny and so microcrystalline that really there's no structure to it. It's gonna break really sharp like an obsidian. But that's a different kind of magma. When it cools really, really slow, all the different minerals can kind of get together. All right, so the quartz is going to end up with the quartz, the mica is going to end up with the mica, the feldspars with the feldspars, and your different crystals like your black tourmalines, your aquamarines, your garnets, okay, are going to end up in different ways. So I'll show you. These are aquamarines from Colorado. We didn't find any really gemmy specimens. You saw in the video that we did find some good pieces of aquamarine, but they're not like crazy terminated and like super blue and clear like these. But that's an example of what you could find in Colorado. The other thing that's great, especially in these rocks at the Ray Mine, is going to be black tourmaline. This one is from the Ocean View Mine because I didn't find a good specimen to show you. But yeah, you can see it has some pretty distinct sides. When it's gemmy, it's quite shiny on the outside. And they're just really cool. This is a pegmatite from the Ocean View Mine that is comprised of very large black tourmaline crystals and quartz. Yeah, good stuff. The other thing that we're going to find at Ray Mine especially is mica. Ray Mine was originally a mica mine. They were mining it up to make, insulation, washers, about a bazillion different things. Again, watch my video of the Emerald Village Museum. They talk all about mica there, so I made sure to show off some of that stuff. Here we go. We'll show you some mica. This is kind of a thicker book of mica. That one's Ray Mine. I'm going to show you one that's not from Ray Mine real quick. This is a different kind of mica. This is crystallized biotite mica from Colorado. You can watch my Amazonite video. You can see there's some Amazonite on the crystal. And this is a crystalline mica. So it is still in flat layers all the way up, but it also has terminated sides to it. So you can see that's what, mica generally looks like, is nice and shiny. That's a good biotite specimen. And then some garnets. You're gonna find some garnets at Ray Mine. These are North Carolina garnets in schist. This is a different kind of rock, it's a metamorphic. But North Carolina is known for its garnets. You can definitely find some really good stuff there. I found that at the Hedonite Family Campground. You can watch that video as well. The other thing that I had never had before, I didn't know that I even had it until just a few minutes ago when I was cleaning my rocks. I found out there's a nice blue flash in this rock. I highly doubt we're gonna really get it on camera, but basically there's a neon blue flash right through this. This is feldspar, and when feldspar is a gem variety, it'll give you the blue flash or something like that. So you get a flash. It's like an opalescent flash. It's gorgeous, but it's very difficult to see. I barely saw it until I had a little bit of water on it. I can't even see it now. If I can show you in the sunlight, when there's sunlight, then I will. But for now, you're just gonna have to believe me. There's some moonstone there at the Ray Mine. Of course, the black tourmaline indicators. You've got your smoky quartz, so that's obviously a pegmatite. The two kinds of mica you're really gonna find, even at Ray Mine, is muscovite and biotite. This would be considered the muscovite mica, the more gold, more clear, you can almost see through it kind of stuff. There's that book I was showing you a second ago. That's mica. It's got a little bend in it. That's kind of cool. And there's a whole pile of stuff. I mean, it's good mica. If you're mining mica, you know. It's very common. Generally, mica doesn't have a lot of value, so that's probably why they stopped, because they had to sell it, you know, tons and tons at a time. So to extract all of that, get it down the mountain, process all of it, it became unprofitable, and that's the reason that the Ray mine eventually did shut down. So let me show you some more Ray mine minerals. Here we go, some pegmatite here. You can see the black tourmaline going crazy. One I wanted to show you especially was this one. Now, someone told me this is something else, but I'm seeing black tourmaline needles in it. So maybe it's something else with black tourmaline, but it looks like microcrystalline black tourmaline to me. And then you can really kind of see some of the individual crystals, like over here. That one there is really pronounced. But yeah, there's a few of those in this rock. It's very shiny. It's got some mica. This rock is wet right now, just so you know. So here's some garnets. This was my biggest piece that had garnets in it. You can see that the garnets are the red dots there, and kind of they're in a vein. They're all kind of together, like it's kind of pretty. And then on the other side, there's not so much, but there is that big black tourmaline crystal. When you are looking for the aquamarines at Ray Mine, guys, what you're really going to want to look for is those big black tourmaline crystals. If you're finding black tourmaline, look at the ends of them, and that's really where you're going to find stuff. The first piece of aquamarine I found is this one here, and you can see it's just blue enough to decipher it, because it's in between feldspar and smoky quartz with the black tourmaline pointed right at it. It's just a little fragment. It's not really a crazy crystal or anything like that, but it showed me that it is in the rock. So I've got a great pegmatite here with a good mineral, a good several minerals in it for a good combination. Here's some really cool mica on some smoky quartz. Oh yeah, no? Yeah, there we go. Right there is some nice blue. You can see. That, I believe, is also some aquamarine in the pegmatite. So I was happy with that piece. And the third piece I found is this one. You can see that is aquamarine there. I guess technically it's blue beryl because it's not very see-through, but whatever. I like aquamarine as a word. It doesn't really change what it is. It's blue beryl, but yeah. Good amount of black tourmaline that I did find there that didn't have aquamarine. That'll happen a lot. And like I was saying, the different crystals are going to be cooling at different rates. So you've got stuff that cooled really rapidly, and then you've got stuff that cooled really slowly. And when you can find the stuff that cooled more slowly and created the larger crystals, that's really where you want to look for the aquamarines in pegmatites in general, especially at Ray Mine. When there's pockets, spaces in between the pegmatites, that's where a lot of crystals can just grow freely, and then they'll terminate, which means that they'll have those sides on them and everything, and then they'll have the end caps that look really pretty. Here's some biotite mica from Ray Mine as well. You can see the biotite is generally black, very dark, and then the muscovite is going to be that much lighter mica, the more golden, more transparent mica. Here's some really interesting examples of the black tourmaline in mica. Very small black tourmaline crystals, but they're throughout the rock. Pretty cool. And then some bigger mica crystals there as well. And there's quartz in this rock. So just another interesting pegmatite. When you get to Ray Mine, like you go up the trail and you go a little to the left, and then there's a stream that goes way up the mountain, and it's just all full of the tailings and the pegmatites, and the water's washing it off and everything. So that's where you go and you flip rocks and stuff. You'll probably see some salamanders. You see a lot of critters. Definitely look out for snakes. All right, before I went there, I read there was snakes, and I looked, and there was snakes. I saw there was a snake. And you can tell it's a really rich environment. That snake is out there eating bugs and eating salamanders. There are spiders all over the place, so it'll be a common occurrence that you flip over a rock and you see a spider. Just keep that in mind if you want to wear gloves. That's kind of not a bad idea. Also, the pegmatites are very sharp. I had some cuts on my fingers, and it's very steep, especially once you get towards the end. towards the top of the ray mine tailings piles, which of course is gonna, you want to go as far as you can if you want to find the really good stuff. That's dangerous, guys. I hiked down with a 30-pound pack, and I was glad that I did it during the daylight. I was definitely slipping on my way down, so it's good to bring hiking poles. If your dog's gonna pull you down a hill, don't bring your dog up that hill. I was really fortunate. That was my first time hiking with Maddie the dog in a real situation, and she was glad to pull me up the hill and only tried to pull me down the hill once. And then when I told her to stop that, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I probably shouldn't, launch me down a hill." So yeah, that's what we got, guys. That's pegmatite. That's the ray mine. I'm gonna give you a quick just like a show of all the stuff that's on my table right now, and give you the outro. All right. So there's the garnets. Thanks so much, guys, for subscribing, checking out Love and Stone Creations on Instagram and Facebook as well. I hope to see you guys out there. Make sure to leave a comment. Let me know how you like this video. If you want to see some more videos in the future, if you have any spots you want to recommend, there we go. There's lots of nice black tourmaline there. There we go. Aquamarine, blue beryl, beautiful, beautiful. Biotite mica. There's some moonstone. There's the tourmaline and mica. Some more beautiful pegmatites made up of smoky quartz, feldspar, mica. There's a little bit of aqua, looks like, on feldspar with some garnet. There's a big old pile of muscovite mica. And then there's, some North Carolina garnets and some things from other places that are beautiful. Great American minerals, you guys. There's no reason to be getting this stuff from other countries when we can get it right here in the United States. So buy from American rockhounds and miners, and don't send your money to other countries. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.